Hi everyone, this is Laurie and Katherine from Recruitment. We're here with Rioghnach Murphy today to have a chat about her career history and progression as part of our new vlog series called And What Do You Do? So Rioghnach, welcome along today.
Thank you so much
for joining us.
Thank you, ladies.
So will we just get started? Let's go back to the beginning. And Rioghnach, what was your first job?
Okay, I think I've done a number of different jobs all along the way. Okay, so I have kind of an interesting career path. And actually, before I ever went into the voluntary sector, my first job was the Policy and Research Coordinator of the Women's Support Network. And I was also Deputy Director of that organisation. So that's an organisation that actually is situated in Royal Avenue. And then it's an organisation that goes to all party meetings and essentially represents women and children across the north of Ireland. So I would have been overseeing the women's centres and going to them and organising focus groups and finding out the difficulties they had, and then writing and consulting in order to lobby to the government. So that was the first thing that I ever did.
Oh, perfect. Amazing. And with this podcast, we want to find out a bit more just about your career history. Alongside with the career history, obviously comes the mistakes and the learning from that. So can you tell us about any rookie mistakes that you made at the start?
I'm sure nobody likes to admit those. I'd say everybody makes mistakes, don't they? And there's nothing, I think, on my career history that I'd say stands out for me. But I would say that there are things that I've learned as I've gone on my journey. And one of the things I think I have learned is that one should be very straightforward about money.
Yeah.
Now, I know that sounds like a rather unattractive thing to say, especially in this kind of society where nobody likes to talk about money or salary. But my advice to people, I think, starting out is to be very upfront with the salary, to ask questions, especially at interview, and to make a decision on whether or not the salary is appropriate to them. The idea in the modern day that organisations don't advertise the salary and somebody goes to interview and then they accept the job and the salary is substantially lower, to me is not good enough. So I think especially, even maybe more so in relation to women, I think that men quite often have that unique male confidence to have those more difficult discussions. I think sometimes women are maybe less inclined. So I would say it is a rookie mistake to go for a job and not discuss the salary at the interview stage.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, especially nowadays where you're seeing so many salaries advertised as competitive. Absolutely. And you don't know really what you're going into there. So no, that's a brilliant bit of advice, definitely.
With that in mind, I suppose, what would you feel, apart from salary and holidays, would be a perk that a company could offer?
I think that there are a number of ways that an organisation can make the job very satisfactory for an employee. And I give this an awful lot of thought because obviously in my own remit, I want the people that I care for, the people that work for me, to be happy in what they do. So I would say to you that being brave enough to trust your employees and allow your employees to know that they have the freedom to make decisions about when they work and where they work, that will have a twofold effect. On one hand, your employees will feel very trusted and it will improve the relationship you have with them. But second of all, they will be more inclined to stay and they will feel that they are working for a giving organisation. So pay is important, absolutely, getting a raise or recognition for a piece of work well done, but also the ability to say, I don't mind if you work a Saturday night as opposed to a Monday morning. I don't mind if I see you in the supermarket on a Tuesday morning, as long as you get the work done for me. Yeah. So I think that that's the other way that you can make the job, Laurie, very satisfactory for somebody.
Oh, perfect. Thanks so much. So we're coming to, I suppose, the crux of the conversation now, and that is the question, and what do you do now?
I am currently Assistant Director of Children's Services in Barnardo's. So it's obviously Barnardo's NI, and it is a fantastic job. I think I'm privileged on the one hand to have so many people in my care, and that's a very humbling experience for me to have so many people that look to me for direction, and with that is the weight of responsibility, which I don't in any way minimize. But also it's a massively embracing organisation, and we empower people and we enable people, and there is that constant enabling environment, and people are trauma informed, and it's a real privilege privileged to belong to an organization that puts people at the center of every decision that they make. So that's what I do.
That's amazing, and it's like you're very passionate about it as well, which is refreshing to see, definitely. And what would you say would be the highlight of your career so far?
I would say that sometimes it's very easy to give an answer like, oh, you know, the time I achieved this, or the time, you know, I was acknowledged and given this reward. But I would truly say the best reward for me, or the best element, is the fact that I have been enabled in my life to look after people. I think that quite often we have a situation where we have to do maybe desk jobs, or we have to, you know, quite often you do a job that pays the bills, don't you? I am very lucky in my position to do a job that allows me to pay my bills, but also allows me to help people, which I think an awful lot of people want to do, but have to do it in their free time, where they have to be a volunteer, they have to go and do it at night, whereas I get the opportunity to improve people's life chances and then get paid for it. And I think that that's absolutely the best of both worlds.
Brilliant.
So we're going to come to a bit of a fun new segment, which is the random questions. So we will shoot these, and Katherine, do you want to pull one out and ask Rioghnach the question that's on the card?
Okay, so your random question today is, what is the most epic way you've seen someone quit or be fired?
Oh dear, the most epic way. And now I have in my life seen my share of people
I'm sure.
Yeah, quit or be fired. But I'm trying to think, people normally do it in quite a quiet and demure way. And often you try and lessen the blow, or you try and explain something. So I'm just trying to think, was there any horrendous one? I had the case in one centre, now not in Barnardo's, and actually not in the Salvation Army where I worked previously, but in a different job that I did. A boy that, well, he was a young man, I suppose he was about 20, 21, he just stopped showing up for work. And essentially, by just not showing up for work every day, he fired himself.
Right.
You know, I think maybe he was, well, he let himself, absolutely. So maybe that was the most epic way. He took a decision, and you know, you can't, suddenly his mobile phone isn't working anymore, and you know, you can't send any letters to the home address. So yeah, that was maybe the most unusual way. But no, I have nothing scandalous to share with you.
I know, we're expecting a big slam out the door. After. Oh, no, yeah, no, I would agree. Most people do just go very humbly.
And you try, I think you try in a genuine way. If you realize somebody isn't going to be a best fit, you hope that they are going to come to that realization as well, and that you normally do that through sort of mediation, where you discuss your options with the person. I think gone is the day of the top-down boss that says clear your desk. Yeah, you know, the rest of us we're trying to just support people.
Yeah, the Alan Sugar way.
Yeah. yeah. That's not my style.
Oh no, not at all. Well, brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today, Rioghnach. And it's been really interesting finding out a bit more about you and what you do. And yeah, no, really appreciate your time for that. So thank you.
Very welcome.
Thanks so much, everyone, and we'll be back with our next season next week.